Good morning, Ramon. I'm here with my boy Felix. How are you today?
Hi, Felix. Hi, Mindy Hahn, the Midwest premier sports handicapper. Good to see you.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming. I mean,
I'm still
well,
here.
yeah. Well, it was
Made it.
a long night nationwide. Hope everyone made it to the polls. Blake's here to get us started, and
Right.
everyone's going to start coming into the chat here in just a little bit. Off yesterday's action. Uh, well, not in the NBA. We know they took the
Right.
day off to get to the polls themselves. Uh, I agree. Nice gesture. Doesn't make our life any easier the next day with all the games we have today to take a look at in the NBA. A huge card in
Yeah.
the NBA. I don't know, what is it, 15 games? I'm dropping
13,
people
something like
on
that. I think.
huh?
I think 13, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
I don't
Something
know.
like that.
Threw my paper on the floor. I was so excited. So,
Right.
uh, huge card. We're gonna look at the NBA card. We're gonna look at a few college basketball games. Not a great card. Um, and we're also gonna look at hockey. We also have a 4-game card, and we're gonna continue our coverage of college football. I think we've narrowed it down, Mindy. We're gonna go with Power Fives pretty much. I think moving forward, unless there's a big game we want to
Right.
cover outside of Power Five, maybe that has maybe ramifications on a, a league race or something like that, maybe. So just we'll take everyone, allow them a few minutes to come in here as we talk about last night's action. Team Steam, Mindy, 3-3-1. We're still trying to.
I feel like the emoji like this.
Yeah, well, it was a juice loser, but only because we
Yeah.
laid that big favorite. I mean, I even said, let's lay the puck line. You kept us on the money line, and it didn't matter. I mean, it was
Yeah.
Arizona continues to be, and I had the game to go over. Remember on Tony's show, and well, Arizona certainly did their job. They
Right.
continued to surprise, and uh,
Just take
Buffalo
scoring.
did
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
But your show winner yesterday came through, and I it was also my video pick when we both picked it on the video yesterday, Vancouver and Ottawa.
Oh. Yeah.
But I did have a premium loser in that one yesterday.
Oh, what?
Yeah, yeah, yep. I had Ottawa, but I had the Islanders. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com and talk about yesterday's action. See who did. Then I'll tell you about. I had a winning day, so and you did too.
Yep. We both had winning
Yeah,
days.
let's go to the leaderboard maybe there so we can see everybody. But look at Tiffany right there, 5-0
I guess she had a winning day.
on the day. I wonder what she was up to. Um, take a look at the leaderboard. Yeah, 5-4 for me, but still 126 because I had a big underdog in there yesterday.
Right, you had the
Um,
Islanders, didn't you? Yeah.
yeah, the Islanders against the Rangers as a premium. We came through with VGK as a team steam play. Also, we had the Kings as a team steam play as well. So uh, did come through with a few winners. You 2-1 day, Mindy.
Yep,
For you.
all in hockey. Didn't necessarily care for too much on the premium side for the college football games. Plus, we were in play on those, so I felt like we had enough action there. So yeah, I was just in hockey. My only loser was I can't remember now. So I had the Kings, and I had the Wild over. Maybe that's what it was. The Kings, right? No, no, no.
The Kings
That was
won. I can scroll down, but I don't want to because it's a loser. So if you don't
No,
remember,
you can. You can scroll down because I can't remember.
all right. Well,
Okay.
I would just say, I mean, we
It's
don't
okay.
need to dwell on the losers.
I mean, I lose every once in a while.
Oh, Dallas. Well, we
Yeah.
were against each other there
Yeah,
in premium land.
that's
I
right.
had uh, Winnipeg actually for a
Yes,
premium,
you did.
and we pushed our
Alan,
team's team in that game. We had the total over, and it was 5-1. I think it
yeah,
landed
Dallas
on
did not play their part in that one at all.
6. So you got some packages already loaded up for today,
Mhm.
including your Wednesday NBA guaranteed best bet and NHL best bet and a 3-pack in hoops
Yep,
today.
and then I just went ahead and I said, hey, why don't I package them all together for you in a 7-pack so you can get all of Mindy's plays for as low as $45 today.
Okay, well that might work. I might have to get on it after yesterday because, well, like I said, I mean, still turned a profit, so that was okay. Um, 2-1 for me on the college hardwood. I had a premium winner with Georgia Southern and San Jose State under. That was a solid under yesterday. And Mindy, how about Coppin State? I told you I wanted them on the money line even,
Right.
and they forced the game into overtime.
No kidding.
They ended up losing by 9 points, I think it was. But I had the over, and it went way over even before the overtime. So that was another premium winner for me yesterday as well. So I like the college card, and I'll probably, even though I'm saying it's an ugly card, I'm just talking about
You're
the.
like, it might be ugly, but I like ugly. I can win
Yeah,
on.
well, we'll see. I wasn't too disappointed with the way things went there. So, anyways, so we had that action. I want to also, Mindy, in college football yesterday in the Maction. I don't want to bypass yesterday's football results, but I didn't know if you had any strong opinions on. I did have Eastern Michigan and Akron to go over. I think we also had a
Yeah,
team.
both of those games wound up being high scores, and we had thought that the Miami, Ohio game would not be an over game. So
Yeah, we
that
went 1-1 on
those
teams
two
to
kind
be.
of actually surprised me. I mean, those were some big points that were put up in each of those games.
Yep, and I had, like I said, premium in Eastern Michigan, Akron over, and we did like Akron, so
Yes,
they did a nice job, right?
yes, for sure.
So.
Yeah.
And we also are in action tonight in more Maction. I do want to mention, Mindy, Maction Dogs right now are on a 6-1 ATS run, so uh,
Nice.
we'll see what happens there.
We
All
need
the
to be on
games
the lookout.
tonight, well, all the games tonight are really closely rated. They're all like within a pick 'em to field goal range, I think. But we do have one consensus premium play already loaded up at Tony'sPicks.com. And if you miss it here on the show, you can go back and look at it in the YouTube archives, or you can get the plays over at Tony'sPicks.com by clicking on Morning Steam. And you'll see here that we have the play already loaded up for today. Here, there, you see it right there. Northern Illinois and Western Michigan, we have the total. So that's for sale. And also, Mindy, there are some other plays from Friday and Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. And we'll have more plays coming up here in just a few minutes as we continue to look at the college football action for Saturday. We'll have more Team Steam plays
That's
to
right.
put up over on the site, so you can get all of our plays there. And there was our little.
Ramon, are you buffering again? I know these early morning computers, they sometimes have issues. I know mine always likes to run, the updates here as well. So I know how it happens. Plus, it feels like you're like, just, totally helpless when something like that occurs to go ahead and have to try to restart also. But yeah, I mean, as you can tell, the morning steam, we've already gone through the early morning games for NCAA, and we will be covering then the next group starting at 2:30 Central Time. We'll be covering those games, and then of course tomorrow we'll be doing the NFL, so we can get our start on the early games there. So we'll do that Thursday night game plus the noon games, and then on Sunday, of course, then we'll do the remaining ones after that. So you'll have the late games on Sunday. And then Saturday morning, of course, we always cover the late games of college football because we like to give you a little bit of variety on what we are covering. It's kind of fun to have some of the same day lines, or like how we're doing it now is we're basing it on, on the futures, on that market analysis from Ramon. So
All right.
yeah.
Richie, is that you?
He's
What
putting
did I
smack
miss?
down on you, Ramon.
What did I miss? What were you
Oh, I
talking
just
about?
went ahead and I did a recap of what we're going to cover going,
Okay,
forward on the
great.
show. Like tomorrow, we'll be
I was
doing
about to get on the
NFL.
phone and talk.
What's
I was
that?
almost about ready to get on, I was almost about ready to get on the phone to make sure I didn't leave you hanging here. Yeah, we'll talk about all the huge cards. Is that what you meant? Talk about today's action. Hello,
Yep.
everybody in the chat. Scotch is here as well. let the audience build a little bit. Anyways, I just want to, if I can, if you don't mind, go back to Tony's picks. Right, I think I was still kind of sharing some of the information there on the card. Our 3-1 performance notwithstanding, but you can get all of our plays over there. Click on the All Cappers tab to get signed up with any of the handicappers. Use the promo code Tony T at checkout. Like I said, how about Tiffany 5-0 yesterday? The GM came in with a winner. Tony had a winner.
You could put the graphic up though.
Daniel had a winner. I'm just talking about, you can't even see it.
Right.
All right, take a look. Tiffany's winners yesterday, 5-0, which is really crushing it right now in NHL and NFL as well. Packages ready for today. 3-pack NBA, got a NBA best bet, NHL best bet as well. Might as well take a look and see, in case you're interested, what the winners were yesterday. NHL 5-pack, very simple, very easy. Canucks Senators over, Golden Knights, Vancouver, Kraken, and Kings. As the West teams, really right there, the West teams, although they were playing some West teams, but they come through. It was more West teams. The West Coast won.
Right.
So, Tiffany, good day there. We got a lot of games to cover. We won't talk about too much over at Tony'sPicks.com. We just want to tell you, to head on over there, check out our handicapper leaderboards, see who's hot. I'm still hot, by the way.
You are
Over the last month, 3801. I'm trying to get a plus 200 a day somehow. I don't know what's dropping off on the other end, so I better just tweak the card today. All right. Let's get ready to roll. Everyone getting in here. Thanks a lot for showing up, everybody. We're going to talk first NBA basketball after the day off for the election. And wasn't a holiday, but maybe it should be.
All right. Agree. So people don't have to stand in long lines. Even that out instead of going after work. Oh, goodness. Why make things easy, right, Ramon? Why make things easy for the public?
Yeah, I guess the internet just isn't secure enough to vote on it.
Right.
We have all of our banking information on there, but forget about voting on the internet.
Unless you're in Colorado, you can vote online. So, maybe someday the rest of us will, be up in the times.
Let's get rolling here we're going to start in the NBA, and we're going to start with Dallas and Orlando, and I'm going to be updating. These are pretty old odds. A bit big card. These might be like 3 hours old now, so there will be plenty of updates, which I think kind of shows the movement in the early morning hours. Especially, that's why we're here first on YouTube with a look at your odds for the day. So this one right now is still Dallas -7, but the total is down to 215.
215.
And
well,
what's going on? Oh, jeez. Okay. I think I'm frozen, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, I can still hear you. So, I mean, I think you're fine, for the most part. You'll just buffer a little bit, perhaps. But yeah, I mean, these Mavericks, they're 6-2 now. They've won 4 straight, beat the Nets in their last one, out by 2. Magic have lost 2 in a row now. They fell to 2-9 after losing to the Rockets. Magic lost to the Mavericks here also on October 30th. And they're 3-1 in the, versus the Magic in the last 2 seasons here. Mavericks are 3-1 versus the Magic over the last 2 seasons. Mavericks are 4-1-1 against the spread in their last 6 versus a team with a losing record. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Mavericks here to win and cover. And hopefully we get Ramon back. Oh, he's restarting. That's why you get me, full face. Lucky you guys. So yeah, I mean, we'll just wait a couple seconds to see if he can get back up. So Ramon's still kind of a little bit in transition. So he is actually thinking about, going from, maybe moving from California. So he's a little bit in transition right now. There he is.
All right, Mindy. Yeah. This is my last day here at Tony's Picks, probably.
You're getting booted because of your lack of Wi-Fi connection. I know we should all carry like Ethernets around or something. I feel like that's what I need to do sometime is just hardwire my
Let me
laptop.
just show. I mean, yeah, this show is going haywire, but I don't know if you started talking about the game. We'll just show you at least how skillful I am. Here, I can. All right.
Now you got it.
God. Okay.
Now you're
Okay.
now you're definitely getting kicked off. You're definitely
Look
getting
at my. I don't know if that shows if I'm skilled or I'm an idiot right there, but I'm back. Okay, but I was going to come on the phone there. If
it didn't work out.
We're back. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so my pick was actually I was going with the Mavericks, the away team here. I think they're going to be able to cover that.
215, yeah, 215 is the total. -7, 215. I think we're good to go from here. I'm sorry, everybody. Thank you for being patient with me. Okay, Butterscotch says, sure seems like last week Dallas had trouble covering. Are you hearing me, Mindy?
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
You know,
did you already cover the game, actually?
Yeah, I did, yes.
Okay. Who did you pick?
I picked Dallas, and that's why he's giving me a little rebuttal there.
Okay, great.
I picked the Mavericks here to cover that.
Okay, well, everybody heard it, and although I would love to hear your analysis, I don't want to trouble everyone with having you go through it again. And I'm sure that, I know not exactly what your analysis was. Yeah, Ramon moved to Tennessee. Do they have sports betting?
Is there legal sports betting in Tennessee? That's the
They
question.
do?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think they do. I think Tennessee is in there, right? That was we were slow getting on the show today because I was whining to Mindy about sports betting not passing in California, and then we got all into a red and blue conversation, and but that was neither here nor there. We're okay. Anyways, Mindy, so I don't need the analysis. I got you. You're on Dallas, taking the. Laying the 7 points here today, but Orlando 4-1 against the spread at home. These teams combined to go 13-7 to the over so far this season. Dallas 0-4-1 against the spread their last 5 games. That does worry me certainly. Dallas 6-2 to the over in their last 8. Orlando's gone over in 5 straight. All those overs that I talked about between these two teams, the last 11 of them have been over the total by considerable margins. I'm probably going to be doing something a little lighter, if you know what I mean. But Mindy, maybe because I didn't hear what you had to say and you couldn't sway me on it, I'm going to go with Orlando here as my free pick.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, maybe I would have agreed with you. I just had Orlando as my pick. I have it. Yeah, I know I have it. Probably just a couple of baskets difference, not 6 or 7 points difference, I think, right now in this one.
Yeah,
all right.
I
think we're back on track.
I might like that over a little bit as well today. So
yeah, I think we're back on track here with the show from here on out. Hopefully, let's go with the Denver and Indiana. And this one, Denver 5.5, and the total 236. No change there. Did open though as low as 234, and it opened Denver -6.
Yeah, I mean, Nuggets 7-3 after beating up the Spurs 115-109. It was also their 3rd win in a row. Pacers 5-5 now on the season, beat the Hornets in their last one out. Nuggets here only allowing 106.7 points per game over their last 3. I'm going to be taking a look at the under 236 in this one. It's 4-1 and Nuggets last 5, played on 1 day's rest as well. Nuggets, I think they've been playing good defense, holding opponents in check. I think we can get it to the under in this one.
All right. Indy's covered 5 straight. 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone over. And as far as Denver is concerned, they've gone 7-1 to the over their last 8 off of a spread loss, and 4-1 their last 5 on the road have gone over. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I know that's a big number, but I think Indiana at home getting these points here might be okay with me. Look, love Denver. But I think Indiana, they're 5-5, so Denver 7-3. I'm going to take Indiana at home, take these points. Might see theme here with me today, Mindy, with a lot of road favorites right now in the NBA. And we talked about previously on the previous show
And I
about
got hammered on
some of the
those. Yeah.
underdogs, yeah, right now. So, like I said, might see a pattern here. I'm going to take Indiana plus the 5.5. Mindy says go under 236, getting the best of the number for sure there. All right. Portland and the Hornets. Portland on the road, 4.5. This totals dropped some to 219.
Yeah, Trailblazers won last one out versus the Heat. Hornets lost to Wizards. Over the last 4 games, Trailblazers have averaged 101.5, and the Hornets averaging 95 points per game. Under is also 8-1. The Trailblazers' last 9 road games, 5-1-1. The Hornets' last 7 overall. We'll be taking the under 219.
Okay. Mindy says go under in this one, 219 with Portland and the Hornets. Yeah, Portland, 4-1 against the spread on the road so far this season, and 8-2 against the spread overall. Portland's won 4 or 5 games on the road, while Charlotte just 1-4 at home thus far. Charlotte, though, is 0-4-1 against the spread their last 5, and 5-1 to the under in their last 6. However, 5 of the last 7 meetings have gone over. So, man, I'm really torn on this one. Yeah, I wasn't sure. At first I was leaning to Portland here, but I think that's probably at 4.5. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take Portland on the money line. No, I'm not. I'm just going to take Portland. I'll lay the points on the road in this one. Not too thrilled with this game at all.
Yeah, I kind of had a split as I was, doing this one as well. I had one that said Trailblazers, one that said Hornets. So we took a stab at the over/under in this one.
Okay. Yeah, looking at it, I don't really. We have to make some picks, so that's just it. Okay, Rockets and the Raptors here. In this one, the Raptors are up to a 9.5 point favorite. The total is down to 224.
Yeah, this has kind of been kind of the same thing. Wasn't I had a hard time kind of figuring out where I think this one's going to go. Rockets here, they're struggling. They're 2-9, won their last one though versus the Magic. But also the 6-5 Raptors then lost to the Bulls. 111-97, got beat up pretty good. Raptors are, first in the league in turnovers compared to the Rockets. I don't know, they're 29th at 16 turnovers here average a game. Over the last 5 games, anyway, the Rockets, they average 118 points. Raptors scoring 120. Raptors here 4-1 against the spread their last 5 games here, 8-1 against the spread in the last 9 Wednesday games. I think ultimately I'm going to go with the Raptors here. I think they're going to cover the big spread, but I don't necessarily care for this one so much.
Well, let's pump you up a little bit with the confidence level, because I
All
like
right.
Toronto to rock them today and
Okay.
rock Houston. You mentioned their good run. They're also 4-1 against the spread at home in the last 5, and 8-3 against the spread overall. Talking about the 6-5 Raptors, we know Houston 2-9 straight up so far. 9 of the last 13 meetings have gone over. Houston 5-2 against the spread last 7 meetings, including the last 7 here. But no, I've got Toronto by well into the double digits here. Let's take Toronto, premium consensus against Houston. Watch out. I mean, Houston's not going to be able to slow them down too much. I expect a high scoring game as well. But let's take Toronto here.
All right.
As a premium consensus. I like the Raptors by well into double digits here. That one more confident than the last
Well,
one.
good, because I wasn't totally confident because of that higher spread. So I'm glad that you think double digits. So we'll be good.
All right, the red hot Nets. Who'd have thunk it? Jacques Vaughn is head coach and doing a good job right now. He's got things back on track. I mean, he's been a head coach before. He's been the interim coach of the Nets before. So there's familiarity there, despite all of who's might be coming in, whatever. Right now, Jacques Vaughn has the Nets playing better immediately. So they've gone on a little winning streak here.
Yeah, I mean, whatever reason, the Nets have kind of decided to play some defense here
Defense, sure.
as well, and that's something that we haven't really seen. I get frustrated with the NBA a little bit because, it's a lot of, shooting, and I prefer the Dennis Rodmans of the world, crashing the boards. You just don't see that as much as you used to. It's mostly we're putting it up and we're getting down to play defense on the other side of the court here. But that defense has only allowed 92 points a game over their last three. Knicks, on the other hand, they've been allowing over 114 there as well. I think this defense is just kind of frustrate the Knicks here today. So I'm going to take the Nets at minus 2.5.
Okay, I'll let you have 2.5. I mean, I can't tell you what
Oh, what
not
is it
to
now?
do.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's 3, but I'm just changing, it's
Oh, okay.
3. 3 and 222.5 total continues to go down a little bit here in this one. But you like the Nets? Oh, I'm
I,
sorry.
yes, I like the Nets, but I
Okay,
didn't see. I like the Nets minus 3.
okay. No, I do too. I like the Nets minus 3. I like anytime. Look, what I said about Kyrie Irving, I don't know if people keep him away, keep him away. Bring in, you got the coaching, everything's a little bit hunky dory, if you will, right now for the Nets. So look, they've struggled at home. They're 1-5 against the spread at home. They're 3-7-1, but that might be. I don't want to say put it behind them at this point. They're going to have to put it behind them if they're going to be the Brooklyn Nets that we expect, right? I mean,
Right.
they should be trying to turn around the season immediately. So Brooklyn 4-7 to the under their last 11 games right now, if I'm not mistaken. So Brooklyn 2-0-1 in those 3 games. So New York uh, has done pretty well in this series, 14-5 against the number last 19 meetings. But I like Brooklyn here. Let's lay 3 points. Give us
All
another
right.
premium consensus play, and yeah, I like Brooklyn.
Consensus play.
Keep
Perfect.
Brooklyn to keep it going at this point.
Let's do it.
Detroit and Boston. Boston is up to 12.5 now. Total 226.
Okay, so the Pistons 3-8 on the year, but did win their last one out versus the Thunder. Celtics 7-3, coming off that nice win over the Grizzlies. Pistons have only put up about 97 points per game here. Celtics are, shooting about a 5%, percentage points better field goal percentage, and of course a better 3-point percentage here as well. I still think the Celtics. I'm going to go with them. I know they're laying quite a few points here, but I'll take the Celtics at home today in this spot.
Okay, yeah. Well, Detroit's having some issues. I mean, they're 0-5 on the road. Boston at least is 3-1 at home. Detroit's gone under in 4 straight. Detroit's 1-5 against the number in their last 6 on the road. Boston just 2-6 against the number in their last
Right.
8, despite their 7-3 spread record, 7-3 straight up record. And
Right.
Detroit 3-8 overall straight up. So 8 of the last 10 in the series have gone over. But Detroit 8-0 against the spread the last 8 meetings against Boston. So this total continues to move up from an opener of 224.5. And yeah, I'm going to end up, I think, Mindy, disagreeing with you here. I'm going to take
That's
Detroit
cool.
plus the points to hang in there today, especially at this number. I know I made you lay 12.5, and I'm saying I'm taking 12.5. It opened as low as 11.
Yeah.
But I'm going to lean to Detroit here. I don't think I can get it to premium land. So Scotch is with me and Blake is with me. So we were going against Mindy. Watch out. All right. Next up is Jazz and Hawks, and the Hawks are 3.5, and this totals up to 227.5.
Yeah, I mean, both teams here coming into this game winning their last 3 games here.
Good game.
Jazz are ranked second in scoring, 118 points a game. Hawks are ranked fourth in scoring, 117 points a game. Jazz here also ranked first in the NBA in 3-pointers made at 179, which is almost, 15 3-pointers a game here that they put up. So again, I'm going to take a look at the over here in this one. Over is 4-1. The Hawks last 5 games following a straight up win, and the over 6-2 in the Hawks last 8 overall.
I got this one going over, Mindy, for sure. I know we're just paying a tiny bit of tax here, but I have it in the 230s here, so why not go over? Atlanta's gone 6-2 to the over in their last 8 games. Now, last 5 meetings between these two have gone under, but again, this is East-West, so that's over a couple of years, certainly. Utah has covered the last 4 meetings against Atlanta, and Utah is also 9-3 against the spread, as well as straight up. They've covered 6 straight, but as Mindy said, Atlanta's also done well with their 3 straight covers in those wins. So Atlanta 7-3, they're one of the surprises of the league, along with the Jazz, the Cavaliers. We can almost stop putting them in the surprise category. They probably continue to prove themselves here. Maybe if you think about all 3 of those teams, I don't know if you have any other, big surprises in the league, but Atlanta maybe is the biggest surprise of the. I don't know. Utah, they traded away the guys, but I don't know. Atlanta doing a pretty good job here. So, anyways, let's go over, Mindy. I think this one ends up being a pretty high scoring game between
All
these.
right, let's get it done.
Yeah, three plays so far. Here we're about just past halfway part of the card. So, all right, the Grizzlies going to take on the Spurs here, and the Grizzlies are now down to a 5.5 point favorite, and the total is 233.5.
Yeah, Grizzlies lost last time out there, dropping their record to 7-4 on the season. Spurs lost their 4th straight game with 109, 115 loss to the Nuggets, makes them 5-6 on the season. Spurs are struggling to score, a little bit as of late, 104.6 in their last 5 here. Grizzlies scoring 111 over their last 5 here. And that's actually a little bit like 5 points below their, season average here too. I'm just going to take a look at the under here. Under is 4-1, the Grizzlies last 5. Under's 4-0 in the last 4 meetings between these two teams here as well.
All right, yeah, I'm just kind of mediocre right now on the total. Maybe I was thinking over, but now it's 233.5. I wasn't sure it was going to come that high. Memphis has gone under in 4 of their last 5 games, and 4 straight meetings have gone under. Spurs under in 3 straight. Memphis 5-1 against the number in the last 6 meetings between the two, and Memphis just 7-4 straight up, but 4-7 against the spread. That always is a kind of an alarm. Sometimes a little bit for me. I'm going to take San Antonio here, plus the points. Give me another home dog here. The move is on San Antonio. Like I said, open 6.5, now 5.5. You'll see people probably lining up to take the Spurs. I'm standing in line by myself here. Take the Spurs plus
Spurs
the
been
points.
covering the spread though. They've been covering.
Oh no doubt, no doubt about it. Yeah, and they're just 5-6 straight up. I just feel like. I don't know. Maybe the Spurs would be popular at the window. I just feel like the Grizzlies are the,
or the big pick, yes.
maybe. I mean, they're the team that's 7. I like to go against teams that have an opposite spread record of their straight up record. I mean, there's a little secret there. I don't think it's a secret, but I mean that's what I like to do. I'm going to take San Antonio plus the points, and Mindy says go under 233.5. All right. All right, Phoenix and Minnesota, and I'm showing Phoenix down to 1.5. Oh, this one's taking a big drop, 222.5.
Has it now? Yeah, I mean the Suns, they're 7-3, coming off a loss of 76ers. Timberwolves got beat by the Knicks. The Wolves have scored 107 points in the last 4 of their 5. Suns score on average 112 points per game, but they've been a little bit sporadic, with that point scoring there as well. Suns, they're 15-8 against the spread versus Timberwolves in their last 23, 5-1-1 against the spread the last 7 in Minnesota. I'm going to take a stab here at the Suns at the -1.5.
Yeah, I'm worried about it, Mindy, because it's a big move to the Suns. It's a spot where usually I would probably find myself on
Right.
Minnesota, but I want to go with you here. I think Phoenix, they've proved me wrong in the early going, and now they've won me back. And if people want to take Minnesota in this spot, you mentioned some of the numbers. Yeah, and not only that, Phoenix 4-1 against the spread last 5 in the series that you mentioned, but the fact that Minnesota's gone under in 4 last 5 and Phoenix has gone under in 4 straight, I think those kind of tempos kind of play to Phoenix's strength in this one. Minnesota not faring very well, 1-4 against a number in their last 5. They're 5-6 straight up. Give us the Phoenix Suns. Lay 1.5. Well, let's we want if you want. No, let's lay 1.5. Right? Let's do it. I mean,
Yeah, were you saying money line is what you're
no,
thinking?
no, not as a discount. I mean, if it opened 4.5 and it's now 1.5, look, we're already, like I said, we're going against this market move here. I don't know if it's the sharps necessarily, but um, I don't know. You'd think Phoenix. I mean, they, definitely are 7-3 straight up, and all you're doing is asking them to win. I get it. We might be sitting there ripping up a ticket in the end, and I'll be kicking myself, but I can't do it right now. Phoenix has gotten me back. I want to back them right now and try to make some money with them at a pretty good price here. All right, so fourth play already. Might have a 5-pack or more here
Right.
today, and we want to really get a crushing card here.
We're ready for it.
Milwaukee, they're down. This
Tired
is
of this mediocreness from us.
another home dog taking action, Mindy. Milwaukee's down to a 5.5-point favorite, and the total is dropping as well, 217.5. Maybe I should check the injury report, but I don't know. It'd probably be going down a little more if the big man was out. What do you have in this one?
Well, I mean, I just couldn't really find a way for the Thunder to cover here in this one. I know, how we're, talking about these road dogs here, but, Bucks just have that one loss on the season. We called that one out, versus the Hawks. Thunder's lost 3 in a row now. It brings a record to 4-6. Pre-games, the 3 games prior to that loss to the Hawks, the Bucks won each of their games before that by at least 13 points. They're also good, I think, at getting extra possessions, finding a way to get rebounds here as well. I think the Bucks being 8-2 against the spread in the last 10, I think they're going to be able to win and cover here this one.
All right.
Right.
Well, I mean, I talked up that I was going to take these home dogs, but this is another favorite, road favorite that I'm going to have to back with you in this one. Look, the Bucks, they have that right 9-1. They're 8-2 against the number. They've gone under in 5 straight, showing that they're playing, defense. It's been a rough spot for Milwaukee to go in here. I mean, I know this is East-West, but they've only covered 6 out of the last 21 meetings at OKC. 5 of the last 6 meetings, though, have gone over. So to me, that kind of signals that Milwaukee will be interested in making sure they have the defensive effort at least to come with this game. Maybe 5.5 is a little bit, but it's a discount off the 7.5 opener. So I'm willing to do it, Mindy. I'm willing to take the Bucks here and lay these points on the road, despite everything that I said. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's
play.
Go to the well here. I don't want Mean to be, looking not confident in that game. I just feel like the dogs right now are kind of the way to go. But the fact this is down off a 7.5-point opener to 5.5, and Milwaukee right now is I don't know, I won't say unstoppable. I mean, they have, failed in 2 of the 10 games.
Right.
New Orleans on the road. They're up to a 2-point favorite here. Total's up to 231.5.
231, huh? So folks are thinking it's going to go over, but I'm looking to the under, Ramon. Both are, 500 on the season here. Bulls scoring 109 a game, especially over their last 5. They've been averaging under that also. They're ranked 21st in field goal percentage at 46%. Unders 5-1 in the Bulls last 6 Wednesday games. Also 4-1 the Bulls last 5 games overall. I'm going to take a look at the under, Ramon. Under what'd you say, 30 something?
231.5. Sorry about that. Let me bring the graphic back up there because I have to agree with you. I really do. I think this one is ticketed for an under. Look, I mean, I see that number, there, 231.5. I don't know. really don't have it anywhere close to that. Actually, look, I know with Chicago, they're 1-4 the under the last 5. 7 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over. So just a look, and New Orleans gone over an 8 of 10. I get it, but New
Right.
Orleans going 4 against a number of their last 4. They've also covered 9 of 12 meetings in Chicago, but Chicago 7-4-1 against the spread, despite that 6-6 record. New Orleans coming in just 5-5. You mentioned 500 teams. I want to go under. I want to take another play with you today on this card. We're gonna have to smash it. We're gonna have
That's
to
right.
smash it. Just take the under with New Orleans and Chicago. We might have 7 here. I don't know.
You might.
Okay. Cleveland and the Kings. Cleveland is down to a 4-point favorite here. They're taking the home dog, and the total is 225.
Yeah, I mean, Cavs are 8-2 after losing their last one. Clippers, and to the Clippers, and the Kings fell to the Warriors. Cavs here ranked 7th in scoring, 116 points a game. Kings 10th in scoring, 115 per game here as well. But yeah, I'm going to take a look to the over. I think each of these teams have been able to, put up lots of points, kind of play at a little bit of a faster pace. The over is 9-2-1. The Cavs' last 12 road games. The under is 8-3, and the Kings. I said under. I didn't mean to. The over is 8-3 in the Kings' last 11 games. So give me the over here, 226.5 or 225 now.
Okay, that sounds fine. I'll take Cleveland still, and I'll lay points on the road. I guess I wasn't. Maybe I just
You
saw
just
the
meant
early
some
game.
of the points, right? Yeah.
Well, you mentioned it. Cleveland 8-2 against the spread and straight up. Sacramento is one of those teams that I just said I like. Like you said, they're 6-3 against the spread, but they're just 3-6 straight up at Cleveland right now. Look, it was maybe this road trip's getting long, and maybe that's why might be a problem today. Maybe Sacramento will get it here because Cleveland lost that game to the Clippers by 2. That Sacramento's covered 7 out of the last 9 meetings between these two teams. But I think right now Cleveland, I'm worried about that total over actually because Cleveland's defense is continuing to, I don't know, they gave up some numbers, but they also have that reputation as a pretty strong defense. Last 5 meetings with the Kings have gone under, but I'll take Cleveland here. I'll lay 4 points on the road as my free play, and Mindy will take the over 225 in Kings and Cavs. One more game in the NBA, and we've got 6 so far. Can we end up with a 7-pack? Hard here? I don't know. We'll see. But right now, I'm showing the good old Clippers. They're down to 3.5. I guess the early bettors are taking the Lakers for some reason.
Am I an early better? I mean, it's like 9 a.m. Central Time. These 2-6 Lakers, they lost 3 in a row now. But the 6-5 Clippers won their last one over the Cavs. Over the last 5 games, Lakers though been putting up some points. 114.6. Clippers 107. Clippers here 3-7 against the spread in the last 10. Lakers. I like them. I liked them at. What I had 4.5, but missed a little bit of value there. But I like the Lakers on the spot today.
Yeah, I think I can't do it now. I mean, not at 5, not at 3.5, maybe at 5.5. I'd be on with you, and the total's dropping to really don't kind of like right to my win, right to where I thought it would kind of be. If it was 5 and 220, if it was 5.5 and 222, I'd probably say, Lakers and under. But I don't know, the fact that the line's gone down there, and I just don't like the Lakers. But the Clippers are terrible against the spread too. I mean, come on, Lakers 2-8 against the spread, Clippers 4-7 against the spread. At least the Clippers have a winning record. We know the Lakers are 2-8. So Clippers 2-9 to the under so far, so that catches my eye. Clippers have covered 36 of the last 53 meetings against these two teams. Lakers 4-1 to the over in the last 5, but Clippers 3-1 against the spread last 4. Lakers are back to not covering again, so I can't do it. I can't go with the Lakers. I'm going to go under 219.5 as my free play here in the NBA. We've got
All
six
right,
plays. 6 plays, Mindy. I'm sorry we ended up on an even number.
it happens. 5-pack and a best bet. I see it in our future.
Well, I tell you, if I had to look at one of those that I thought would be the best bet out of all of these, how about this for a little feature? Huh? Well, I don't know. If I gave you 3, which okay, did you like? I like as my best 3. Maybe you can decide out of these 3: Toronto, Brooklyn, and Milwaukee. And you don't have to decide now. You can surprise us over on the site, but you can mark those down. If I
I like the Nets. I was going to say was my number 1. So
okay,
there
there's
we go.
our best bet right there. Huh? How about a best bet consensus on the show? Huh? We got
I
a new.
like it.
We might have a new feature if we end up on even numbers, and we can. I don't know. We see. Maybe we get one college game out of it. I don't know. Maybe we'll end up somehow with a 7-packer or whatever.
We'll
But
see.
anyways, get all of our plays, all our premium consensus plays over at Tony'sPicks.com if you ever missed the show, and we sell them over there. But you can just watch the show. Go to the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, and you can go back and watch the previews. If you're running out of time though, and you're running late, and you want to know what we had, you can just drop us a little something, something, and
Exactly.
and get the plays over there at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code, but use the promo code TonyT at checkout because I want you to save that 20%. I want you to pay.
And that's only an internet feature or a YouTube feature. So
Yeah, I don't want you to pay full price for something that that we are giving out for free. That's what I'm trying to say. So, all right, Mindy, we're gonna go next. I believe we're gonna go college basketball next because it's not a great card and it's basketball, and we just did basketball, so I'm thinking let's continue on with college. We're gonna look at 3 games that we picked for today, and again, we're really just trying to stick to the national TV, the national cable games. I guess we could call it national
pretty much,
TV
yeah.
games. So, and if not, we just pick good games off of games that might be streamed, ESPN Plus, Big Ten Plus, something like that. So let's start with Davidson and Wright State in this one, and I'll also see if we have any line changes because these are pretty stale, possibly. But anyway, Davidson on the road here against Wright. And as you can see, Davidson is a favorite here by 4 in the total, 147.
Yeah, Davidson won their first game of the season over Guilford, 87-64. While Wright State, they're gonna
Guilford. We're
yeah.
playing one guy.
The Fighting Guilfords, yes. Wright State, I think they're, hoping to get off to a strong start here. Also, they finished 15-7 in the Horizon League. Wright State, if I take a look at them, they're kind of 4-1 against the spread in their last 5, 6-2 against the spread their last 8. I know, again, this is kind of based off of, last year's, numbers here too, since we don't have a lot of information on the Wright State team yet. I am going to take Wright State, though, in this one, plus points at home here today.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I think so. Then we can take the points with you at home against Davidson. Oops. Let me fix my graphic. I noticed the total there had gone up. I was having a little delay of more computer issues, more technical issues, but so it was Davidson. So laying a little bit higher price, we can get a better price actually. It opened 3.5, now 4.5. The total has gone from a low of 147 up to 149.5. I kind of lean towards that over, but it's getting a little bit close for me right now. But I think we're getting a little bit of an increased price here, and I already liked Wright State, so let's take Wright, and we better be right on this one.
Let's get right on it.
Okay, Wright State. We've got a consensus play here in college basketball. How about that?
It was amazing.
Amazing. It's going to be amazing. All right.
It will be amazing.
Monmouth and Seton Hall in this one. And I'm showing the Hall going to be favored here. 20.5 now. And the total 135.5.
Yeah, I mean, Seton Hall, they're going to look to, build off of a pretty solid season. They were 11-8 in the Big East. Monmouth, they came into the season kind of, looking to rebuild. They had an 11-8 record in their final season in the, MAC before going over, to, the CAA conference here also. Monmouth, though, their leading returning scorer, Miles Foster, he averaged 5 points a game in the last in 12 minutes last season. So I mean, not really returning a whole bunch. Seton Hall, they have a good, new head coach here also. And I think they're expecting to put up some big numbers. They kind of restocked here in the transfer portal. I think Seton Hall is going to be able to cover this big spread here today.
Yeah, I want to see the former Seton Hall great Shaheen Holloway and how he fares as a head coach there. So I think it could work out for him. I like Seton Hall, Mindy. I like Seton Hall to roll here. I think I can. I could see him winning by a pretty large margin, covering the big points here against Monmouth right now. Monmouth's got some things to work out in the get go. So we on it?
We're on it. Minus 20.5 consensus.
Yeah. I got it. What can I say? I got it, about 22.5, 23. You got the total kind of right on. So maybe it goes over a little bit in this one, but I'm not so sure about the total. I prefer the side. If I had to make a play, it's going to be on Seton Hall. So we've got a consensus here, no matter how you look at it.
You win it.
All right. Oops. Bellarmine going to take on Louisville, and you see this move right now. Bellarmine, if anything about any of the overnight games, I mean, Bellarmine coming into this game is the story. This is a huge move on Bellarmine. Really opened. There was look-ahead lines as high as 16. The general opener came as high as 13.5. Those were bought up immediately because of what happened in Louisville's first game. And Bellarmine, actually comes in with a pretty decent club. So what do you think? I mean, it's going to be hard, but Bellarmine's getting a lot of action. That's all I can say about it.
Well, and that's kind of the way I was looking here. Bellarmine, they're coming off a 20-win season. Louisville, a 13-win season. But Louisville, they lost a lot of, guys and production from last season, including their top 2 scorers, have a new coach, Kenny Payne. Bellarmine, they're 8-1-1 their last 10 road games. I know I lost some value there, but I was kind of maybe, thinking with sticking with Bellarmine at +9 here today.
I think you could get on it now, folks. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I just think Bellarmine, if you watch the shows today, whatever, I think they're just going to get so much attention. I don't know if it'll resonate with bettors, even especially casual bettors that might see a Louisville team single digits against Bellarmine. But you saw what happened in their exhibition game. So I like Bellarmine. What can I say, Mindy? I like Bellarmine. We got a 3-pack in college ball.
Can you believe that we did that? A whole 3-pack? That never happened.
All 3 games that we picked here. We didn't know going in that we were going to be on the same sides here. We know what games we were talking about. So I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit selective process because of the lack of games that we end up. But still, we could have gone either way. I like Bellarmine. I wish it was on higher. Obviously,
like 16. That'd be sweet. Maybe we can go back in time. The Wayback Machine.
But again, I mean, I think it could go down even further. I think people are you're gonna hear about Bellarmine all day in this situation, and they may actually take action at the window from. I don't know. The Sharps might be done taking their points because they've taken a lot of them. Bellarmine could win. They might win this game. So maybe drop a little sawbuck on the money line too. What the heck? All right, that's a look at college basketball today for those 3 games. It's about a 12-game card. So one game that caught my eye, of course, is going to be out here, Florida Gulf Coast taking on USD. Mindy, Credit Union upset USC last night.
Oh yeah.
Enfield, the former Gulf Coast coach, now at SC, and USD tonight. They're going to be favored in the game against Gulf Coast, and they have Steve Lavin now as head coach, and he's brought in. I follow the USD program pretty closely, and it's going to be different now at USD. Yeah, the USD's had some moments. Remember, they upset UConn in the NCAA tournament several years back, and they've had times when they've even given Gonzaga some battles, dating back many years now. But things are about to change. At Alcala Park, that we call it here, with Steve Lavin as head coach. He's already started to bring in some guys. So, not going to challenge Gonzaga or anything, but the rest of the league better be on notice, I think, with USD for a few years anyway, with Lavin as the head coach.
Okay.
Let's go to the National Hockey League now. For today's action was 4-game card. We'll start it off. Maybe I could check out the goalies as Mindy gets started with the handicaps. And we'll start with Carolina on the road here against Florida. And right now I'm showing you in this game that Florida is a slight favorite here. I'm showing it as a pick'em, Mindy, 6.5 over 25.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at the under here in this one. It's the under is really trending here for the Florida Panthers. It's 5-0 in the Panthers. 5-0-2 in the Panthers last 7 days off of 1 day rest. The under is 6-1-1 to the Panthers in the last 8 versus teams with winning records. Under is 4-1 in the Canes last 5 Wednesday games there as well. And the goalies here, they're, each averaging about 2.5 goals allowed. I know the trends are a little bit different. If I look at this, just head to head, it's kind of more sometimes to the over. But I just think with the woes that Florida have had as of late scoring, I'm going to just tick to the under here.
Yeah, and I think it's reflective because I keep harping on Florida, 7-5-1 straight up, but just 3-10 on the puck line. Carolina's not much better. I mean, they're 8-3-1, but 5-7 on the puck line. Carolina, interestingly, 5-1-1 on the road, but Florida has looked pretty sharp at home, 3-0-1 at home. So Carolina, though, has won 4 of 5. They've gone 6-2 in their last 8 games against Florida, but I think you're right, Mindy. I think we're going to go under in this game today, especially now when we get even money or maybe even plus $1.05 or maybe a few cents more in this one now. So we got more consensus action. I owe it to Mindy. I hope we're get this together. I've been letting her down a little bit, and but I want to go under. It does look like it's going to be Ranta and Bob in there. No confirmation on the goalie there. In fact, none of the goalies that we'll show here on the screen have been confirmed, I don't think, just yet. But we've got a consensus play. Let's go under with Carolina and Florida. All right, Pittsburgh and Washington. And in this one, it's going to be Yari maybe and Kemper. And I'm showing Pittsburgh $1.30, but and 6.5 flat.
Yeah, I mean, this one's kind of, similar as well. I think sometimes if we look at, past trends, head-to-heads, this might be an over. Again, I'm going to look to the under here. Under 6-1, the Capitals last 7, 4-1, the Capitals last 5 on 1 day rest. Jari here, he's allowing, 3.3 goals allowed. Kemper here, 2.4. But the Penguins here, they're only scoring 3 goals a game in their last 4 of 5. I don't see them, getting up over the 3. Not sure if they're even going to make it to 3 today. So I like the under 6.5.
Okay. Yep. Washington. What can you say? 1-6 on their last 7. Pittsburgh's on this losing streak right now. They're also 1-6 to the puck line on the road, and Florida. I mean, Pittsburgh's the one that is getting generally laying the puck and a half in this one. Plus 200. I mean, obviously you can go to an alternative line and we get virtually the same. Well, not the same line. I mean, Pittsburgh's actually is a modest little favorite here. So give me Washington, Mindy. I think in this one, Pittsburgh won 5-1 on the road. Washington 4-2-1 at home. Washington's at least a 500 club. Pittsburgh's under 500. Um, 13 of the last 16 meetings have gone over, so I don't know if I can get with you on that. I'll take Washington plus money here. Mindy says go under 6.5. So I don't mind that 6.5 because some of the model I have has 6, and at 6 I loved it over. At
Right.
6.5, I'm gonna like it over, and I don't want to. I don't think I can go against you
On the Ramon scale.
Yeah,
Like.
that might be one where I end up going like 6 over, make like a weight like 6
Yeah.
over 45 or something. I'll be satisfied with that. But I'll take Washington. Mindy says go under in Pittsburgh and Washington. All right, Vancouver with Thatcher Demko. He's broken or something. I don't know what's going on with him. Montembeau or Montreal. Vancouver here. They're up to $1.50 though, and the total is 6.5 over 20.
Yeah, so the Canucks are 4-3 on the road, and there's no real other positive trends here in this one. For you know for the Canadians here as well. If I take a look at it, it's one of those that there's just been a lot of giving up goals here in this one. So it's the Canucks here 6 goals, 5 goals, 8 goals in their last 3 games. The Canadians here gave up 6 goals, 4 goals, 4 goals in their last 5. Canadians are 24th in goals for, Canucks 8th in goals for. I'm going to take a look at the over here in this one, over for the game total 6.5.
I'll do it with you. Sure. Vancouver 9-4 the over, right? Last 13. Yeah, Montreal's trended to the under, no doubt about it. 4-8 to the under last 12 games, but it's actually been kind of a tough spot for Vancouver. It kind of worries me that they're kind of drawing money here a little bit. I'm not sure I trust them in this spot. I mean, after all, it's Montreal, right, that has a mediocre record. Vancouver's not doing too well, but 8-3-1 to the over last 12 meetings. Yeah, it's East versus West, but it's also 2 Canadian teams. So let's go over. I've got part of my model showing plenty of 7s out there, Mindy, and even 6.5 over 20 looks like a discount to me. That's about as I had everything pretty much over that number for sure. So let's go over with another play here, Vancouver and Montreal today.
All right.
We're gonna have a lot of action.
We will.
Hopefully everybody's all ready for some betting after yesterday. I was wondering, if you did any political betting, if you were into that sort of thing. But
it's one of those, like, I always look, but I've never done any actually. But I always take a look to see, because it's interesting to see, just because there's been the history of such bad polling, and I think some of the best pollers are Vegas and the UK. So I do take a look.
Good you mentioned that, because I was reading an article about. We should talk about sports betting, but I was reading an article about polling, and as I've gotten old, when I'll say we were younger, I don't know, our chat's probably younger than us, but
I'm sure.
before the cell phones and everything many years ago, and even maybe flip phone, but you used to pick up your phone more and answer it, right? Now you just have every name in there. If you don't recognize it, you make them leave a message, whatever. Maybe some people do pick up the phones, and sometimes I do, take a chance, right? but the thing was that pollsters were reporting back and saying that most everyone that picked up the phone was over 60 years old.
Right.
And, and so that, really it just, and that's how a lot of polling is done. I mean, that's how it's been done.
Especially that's in contrast, because they said like the Gen Z was the biggest voting group of this election cycle. So if you have the Gen Z voters and the what would you be like, the boomers, or what's the next one? Y, I think that's what we were in, right? Generation Y, something like that, or but yeah, I mean, it's a big contrast with the boomers and Gen Zs as for who they're selecting.
Maybe we should have done. We don't have any premiums on politics. Wasn't loaded up in the back end, but we could have done a whole show about. And I didn't see many YouTube shows about any But I saw
Next
plenty of
year or
well, I
2 years.
saw plenty of lines out there, and I was following the live betting throughout the night on some of those tight races, actually. And no one will ever forget, you know, the election of Donald Trump and the crazy odd swing when everyone was ready to anoint Hillary, and then that crazy 90 minutes that everyone will ever always remember.
That's
So,
right.
anyways, Minnesota and Anaheim. Let's start the video. Minnesota and Anaheim here with Fleury and Gibby, it looks like here, and I've got Minnesota. Boy, Anaheim might be taking action here. Minnesota opened as high as 180. They're down to 160. I'm starting to show some 155. So looks like it's all coming in on Anaheim, and the total is 6.5 under 15. So they're taking the home dog here in this one.
Well, I mean, I get it, right? But I mean, I like the Wild here. They're 12-1-1 versus the Ducks in the last, 14. I know it's because, the Wild, they've been shut out their last, couple games. So I mean, I feel like I'm kind of bucking a trend in that in that sort, because they haven't really been, scoring. But again, if you take a look at it, the Ducks are 32nd in goals against. They give up 6 goals a game. The favorite here in this series is 11-1 as well. So it's like I'm accepting the trends on one sort of way, and I'm bucking the trends on another, just because Minnesota hasn't been scoring. But I'm looking for them to rebound here versus Anaheim.
Yeah, both these Minnesota's won 11 of the last 12 meetings too. I mean, that's a pretty big stat. I mean, when you talk about when the teams are in the same conference and all that, and one team really dominates. I mean, we throw a lot of these narratives out a lot of times because we use our numbers, and a lot of time we say, it's kind of boring to come on and just say, yeah, well, my
My
numbers
numbers
say
came
that.
out as this.
So you kind of paint a picture, but you also can enforce your opinions, and that a lot of times, and you can find some trends that might take you off your power numbers. But when you see 11-1, you kind of, well, maybe this team does dominate, and Minnesota's been the better team than Anaheim for a couple of seasons now, for sure. Anaheim's gone over in 5 straight, but Minnesota's gone under in 7 straight. The teams are combined 8-17 to the puck line. Anaheim just 4-8 overall. I want to take Anaheim, but I'm going to go under, Mindy. I think in this one, I think if Minnesota's going to win, like you call it, and they're favored here, look, they're the team that's gone under in 7 straight. Even though Anaheim's gone over in 5 straight, let's think that if Minnesota's still favored, yeah, the action might be coming in on Anaheim. Pretty nice price to take an underdog at home again. And Anaheim, they've shown a little life of late. But if Minnesota is expected to win, you would think they're going to be, with Fleury, able to stop and keep Anaheim at to 2 goals or less. So I'm going to go under in this one.
All right, so we got a couple of little consensus plays out of it. So hey,
I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know what you want to do, but if I were to pick one of those 2 games, Mindy, as a best bet, I would take Vancouver and Montreal over, and not Carolina, Florida under. That's my best bet.
Good. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, I wanted you. I don't know if you agreed or just we're going to go with what I said. I don't know.
Well, here, let me.
Well, I guess the other way.
Let me look at my sheet to see which one I have ranked higher.
We disagree.
So my number 1 over under would be the Canucks. Oh, that's the one that you picked. Okay. And the Hurricanes would be my 4th ranked for the day. So there we go. Perfect.
Right. Well, I don't know.
Consensus on the best play too, right?
Right. I mean, otherwise we have 2 solo plays. We might have to team it up with something else. Maybe put it in there with the college. I don't know whatever we're gonna do. We try to package them up, just like I said. We appreciate the people who have subscribed to the picks. It kind of caught us by surprise, and we appreciate you guys for making sure you get our picks every day, even if you miss the show. And don't forget, I mean, we continue to kind of gloss over this. It's talked about on the afternoon show, Mindy, but, we talk about YouTube. You can go in and type in the team names with Morning's Team. You can find any pick for today or the football picks we've already done, including those MAC games, that we previewed today, but also the podcast that Tony and the GM have gotten together where we're going out to all the platforms. So if you're listening to us right now on a podcast, so
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you for listening as
Great.
well. I mean, it's so cool. I always wanted to be on a podcast. I mean, you could do it. Look, I mean, we have, and we started our own flailing YouTube channels before and been on, but we're out there on our own little podcast. So we better keep it rolling here, Mindy. I'm talking too much. I'm just getting my notes together, actually, because we've got college football next. We still
That's
got
right.
plenty of games to talk about. We're going to Saturdays.
10 or 11 more, I think. Goodness, look at us
We're
go.
continuing on in Saturday's action, right? So let's get to it because we've been here a long time, and thanks to everybody for watching. All right. Mindy, I'm going to bring it in right now, my notes for the games, and we'll go right to the top of the order and start with. I asked you about this game yesterday, I think, but
I actually thought you were talking Nebraska basketball because that was,
oh,
that was initially on the list, and you're like, why didn't you bring up Nebraska? So that's what I was
okay.
initially thinking.
Well,
Yeah.
again, I thought aren't you going to talk about Nebraska football? But I didn't realize actually that it is a time change, and it's one of the games that goes off at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central, and 12:30 Pacific. So let's start right there with your Huskers getting big points here from Michigan. What can you say? 29.5, total 49.
Yeah. So, Michigan, ranked 9th in the country, averaging 250 rushing yards per game. Plus they only allow an average of 11 points at home. This is going to be a really bad day here for Nebraska, I believe. I think Nebraska, there is, they're praying for bowl eligibility, but I don't think they're going to get there this season. It might be one of those that maybe we can, tick off maybe one more game and, have a 5-win season and get in if there's actually no more 6-win teams. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to just take the over. The over's hit in 4 of Michigan's last 6 games. I think that's actually going to be the play here. I mean, I think it's going to be putting up a real big score here versus Nebraska. Maybe Nebraska can score a couple as well.
Okay, well, I hope they can. I'll take the Huskers, I guess.
You are? Oh,
Yeah, 29.5. What the heck? I mean, I'll take the Huskers.
maybe we shouldn't have previewed this game after I think about it.
Well, Michigan's 6-3 against the spread. Nebraska's 3-6 against the spread. I understand that, and Michigan really does beat up. I talked about them beating up on bad teams, but they do. I mean, they're 5-1 against the spread against sub 500 teams. So teams are combined 6-12 to the under. Mindy, I don't know if that mostly Nebraska, right? Nebraska's 1-5 to the under, but Nebraska's got that bad offense. Michigan has a good defense. I get all that.
They have that. What is he? Number 2 that is going to run everywhere, all over Nebraska.
But there could be some clocks, going and everything like that. Could be just a 4-touchdown game, maybe. So
Well, a girl can dream, Ramon. A girl can dream.
I'll take Nebraska.
All right.
Mindy takes the over. Getting the best price too, Mindy. To open 52.5. Actually, I show some openers as high as 54.5. So, man, you're getting a lot of value there with that line on the over. And I take Nebraska. I'll take Nebraska.
Good job,
play.
Ramon.
Free play.
Thank you.
Absolutely free. Yep.
Complimentary.
Maryland and Penn State here. And in this one, I'm showing that it is a Penn State favorite here by 10. And the total is, where we got it? Total 59.
Yeah,
Penn State by 10, total 59.
Yeah, I mean, Maryland, they're just allowing only the 4th most passing yards in the Big Ten, 239. Historically, they're 1-5 straight up against Penn State, 1-5 against the spread there as well. Penn State, clear home favorite. I think the better team. Won 4 of the last 5 here in double digits. I think this is definitely going to happen here again. I'll take Penn State.
Okay, fair enough. Mindy says take Penn State, lay those points. Get more value, Mindy, no doubt about it, because this line I'm showing, it was as high as 12.5. So getting 2.5 points of perceived value in my book. I don't know what you guys think value is, but I think it was 12.5 and now it's 10. I think Mindy's getting the
Clever number
value
for sure.
here. One thing I'm not going to be getting the value on is I'm going to take the total to go over, but I do think it actually will go considerably over in this one. Look, I mean, we know, uh, Maryland is. Look, they've failed to cover in four straight by pretty considerable margins of late. But Penn State, they've gone over in four straight and over convincingly in those games. So they've covered three in a row. So I get why Mindy might be, on the Lions here with their 7-2 spread record. Under though, 0-4. 4-0 to the under last four meetings does concern me a little bit, but not the way that I see it. I think these guys might be headed well in maybe close to 70 here. I'm going to go over in Maryland and Penn State. Mindy says take Penn State -10.
Sounds good, Ramon.
Yeah, we'll find. We may find. We've got a lot of consensus, but this is for Saturday, and that was for today. All those plays. We need it. We need it. Watchdog's not here. We need to put up a big number. All right. Let's continue on BC and North Carolina State in this one. North Carolina State's going to be favored by a big number, 18.5. There it is again, one of those big numbers with a big total, a little total. Big number, little total. 18.5, 42.5.
Yeah, I mean, Boston College, 94th in the country, 252 yards passing. NC State, they're averaging 27 points a game here, coming off a big win over Wake Forest here as well. I think Boston College is going to be able to, put up some points. I think it's going to go over the 42 in this one.
All right, Mindy. Yeah, well, I don't know. For me, when I was looking at this game, I mean, you got Boston College. They're not, covering numbers very well right now. That's for sure, right? 2-7, not only straight up, but against the spread. And Carolina, they're one of those teams that they've got the good record, but the poor spread record.
Yeah.
1-6 their last seven, but they're 7-2 straight. That's just so they're often just favored. By too many points is really what it turns out to be. So most of Boston College's spread losses have come by what I would say is considerable margins.
Right.
Right. I mean, when they failed, it's been pretty bad. So I don't know. I want to think there's just a little bit of value here on NC State. So I'm going to take NC State in this one. You said under 42, is that correct?
I said over the
Over
42.
42. Thank you. Thank
Yep.
you. I just didn't write it down.
So that helps Ramon, cover his 18.5 spread, right?
Okay. I'll look at it that way. As well. North Carolina State 6-0 straight up at home. Boston College 0-4 straight up on the road. So, all right. Miami here on the road against Georgia Tech, and in this one it's a pick'em, total 44.
Yeah, I kind of had it that Georgia Tech, when I did this, they were, at like -1.5. But so the way I wrote it is, Yellow Jackets coming into this game as the favorite, even though, Miami has, just the better statistics in almost every category that you look at. But, maybe it comes down to some injuries and stuff too. Miami's also coming off that, embarrassing loss to Florida State. But again, that was, Van Dyke, re-injuring that shoulder. It's still unclear if he's going to play also. And then, of course, those backup quarterbacks haven't really been producing much either. So, it's one of those, like, I'm assuming Van Dyke is probably going to be out. I think I'm going to go to the under 45 here, or under 44 in this one.
And it's one of my top plays, I think, of Saturday right now is going to be the under in Miami and Georgia Tech. It was headed for my premium card for sure. We'll put it on our list as a consensus premium play instead. Georgia Tech under in 6 straight. They've combined to go 6-12 to the under this season. Miami's also gone under in their last 5 games against teams that are below 500. So Miami, yeah, you were saying that embarrassing loss. I don't know if you heard, I was mumbling in the back, mumbling over you saying which one, right? I mean, they've
Well, Tree.
Yeah, they failed to cover in 8 straight now. So even though they're 4-5, they're 1-8 against the spread with 8 straight failures. So that's a warning sign to me. So, anyways, I might be on a finding Georgia Tech on my card, but for me, under was the stronger play, anyways. So let's go under 44. I
All
mean,
right,
it could
let's do
be.
it.
I'm serious. I mean, it could be like, we think
A
about
baseball score,
yeah, for
9-7.
well, I was thinking, something 20 to 14, something like
Okay,
that.
so not quite a baseball
Something
score.
realistic, but yet way under this. Louisville and Clemson in this one, and Clemson favored here. They are favored at home by 7, and the total 52.
Yeah, in this matchup, Cardinals here, they got that, quarterback, the dual threat, Cunningham. Geez, he's averaging, 47 passing attempts a game. He also has, 50 running yards per game. I mean, he's just really mobile. I like the way that he's playing. Clemson, Shipley, I mean, he's averaging, 80, 90, 100 yards a game usually as well. Clemson's upset. I don't know if that's going to light a fire under him this week. I think it might. I think I'm going to go Clemson here, -7 in this one.
Okay, yeah, I got beat down last week with Clemson. My bad. I liked them in that game for Notre Dame. They really never had a chance, and it really, Mindy, really should have triggered my head because we were already putting Clemson kind of out of the
The top
top
four.
4 when people were still including them in there, and we were like, we and we were wrong with Alabama too, so no doubt about it. But I mean, we had also already kind of booted Clemson out for a team like TCU, which we didn't talk about the release of the information yesterday, but TCU gets their chance to be in that Final Four, and if they can win this one big game as an underdog,
Definitely
they
going to be
could
big.
secure
Yeah.
their spot. So we've been high on TCU, you and I, and we were not high on Clemson. I still went with them at Notre Dame because of some of the poor efforts that Notre Dame had, as
100%. Yeah.
looking back at like the Marshall game now or whatever. So, anyways, Louisville though they've covered 4 straight now, so that is a little bit of a caution. They're 6-3 against the number and straight up. Those 4 straight covers too. I mean, you mentioned it. I mean, Louisville's hot. They're covering by a big margin of late. But Clemson 4-1 their last 5 against teams that are over 500. Now those efforts were bad. Those last 2 games they really failed by a pretty big margin. But Louisville has failed in the last 5 meetings against Clemson, and 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone over. I think I'm getting a little bit of a slight discount. There was a 53.5 out there, went down to 51.5, back up to 52. I'll go over in Louisville and Clemson over the 52. And Mindy says take Clemson -7.
Do it.
Let's go to the Big Ten with Northwestern and Minnesota. Minnesota, pretty big favorite here, but maybe Northwestern is finding, when they start finding their groove a little bit, they sometimes make some noise. So it's been a disappointing season for them, but they're getting 17.5 here. Total 40.5.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll have this game on, right? Maybe make TV5. I kind of feel like it's not the best one in this 2:30 slate here. Minnesota, they rank 59th in total offense still, even though they've been decreasing over this college football season, 407 yards per game. But defensively, still hanging in there, ranking 4th, allowing 14.2 points a game here on average. Northwestern has this really, I think disappointing record for them. I think they've had chances and opportunities in games, and they just haven't been able to do much. But they are, moving the ball here some as of late, 354 yards per game. Defense, though, which we don't really expect from a Northwestern team, has been the one that's been, struggling. They're allowing all of these, rushing yards, about 188 per game. I think the Golden Gophers here, they're going to be able to run all over this Northwestern team. I'm not sure about this spread, but I do think this is going to be an over game in this one. I think, if you take a look at Northwestern, are they as good as, Nebraska? I mean, I don't know, but, Nebraska was able to score over Minnesota. So I'll take the over here.
Well, then I'll take Northwestern. I mean, what the heck? I mean, I'm getting 17 and a half points, which is better
Sure.
than the 16. It did go up to 18, then back to 17 and a half. But back to them getting a little extra there off of a low. I saw a 16 out there. That's kind of what the Sharps kind of hit it at and took it up to 17. But I mean, what's Minnesota done for me? I mean, they're 1-4 against the spread
Right.
their last 5 games. You mentioned, maybe that there could be 10, but 8 of the last 10 meetings have gone under. So I don't think I can
I
get
understand.
jump on that with you. But disappointed Northwestern. I think everybody always expects them to at least be a better than a 1-8 record,
Right.
given their uh, I'm old enough to know when Northwestern couldn't even win a game for several years, and they had that massive historical losing streak. But obviously, over the last 20 years, they've turned it around a bit and been a pretty good program with a lot of success. Actually, Minnesota 11-5 against the spread last 17 meetings, though against Northwestern mini. But I'll try to buck that trend. Northwestern also 0-6 against the spread off a straight up win, but come on, they got the money. They covered this number against Ohio State.
Right.
It was a massive number, and they only lost by 14 points. So give me Northwestern on the road against Minnesota, and Mindy says go over 40 and a half. Arizona State and Washington State. Washington State is favored in this one by 7.5. Total is down to 60 within the last couple of hours here.
Yeah, ASU here averaging 28 points a game, but allowing 31. Washington State rebounded last week, ended their 3-game losing streak here over Stanford in a big way, 52-14. Cameron Ward, he's averaging 262, per game. And, I think he's going to lead the Cougars to a win here. Washington 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 at home. I think this trend's going to continue here as well. I'll take Washington State laying the 7.5.
Yeah, I do too, but I think they could put up a big number here. I'm surprised at the move. It opened Washington State as high as, I'd say 10 points at some spots, and now it's down to 7.5. I already was kind of leaning at 10 or maybe 9.5. I was like, well, if I can get to 9, but now it's 7.5, and maybe they'll go down even further. We're gonna have to play it today because that's part of our deal here on the morning steam. But I'll go in on this one with you and take Washington State. Arizona State's covered 5 of the last 7 meetings, but Washington State has covered 4 straight at home. They're 6-3 against the number. We know ASU just 3-6 straight up this year, and Washington State. Interestingly, 2-7 to the under this year. I don't see that being the type of game that this is. I see this one, could have closer to 70 points. It feels like to me. Arizona State has gone over in 4 of their last 5 games. They're the team that kind of keeps the tempo up a little bit. So I'm going to go with Washington State as well. We got a premium consensus right there, lay 7.5 against Arizona State. All right. Well, I guess Alabama's still a great. They're 11.5 point favorite. They're 7-2. Mississippi's 8-1. Mindy, and there's nothing. I don't know. Nothing really indicates to me. We were wrong about Alabama, but I've definitely downgraded them. And Mississippi, like I said, they got some good numbers.
Right. So I think this is going to be a fun SEC shootout here. Ole Miss coming on, into this with a 68th ranked defense. They give up 378 total yards. But then, it has a bigger advantage here on offense where they actually rank 10th in the nation. They put up their 494 yards of total offense a game. Then you have Alabama 35th on defense. And, it's one of those things that I kind of just think that this is going to be a little bit of a home field advantage here with the Rebels and Judkins averaging 180 yards a game. I think I'm going to take Ole Miss here on the spread. plus 11.5.
I want Ole Miss almost on the money line. I don't know. I mean, they'll probably Alabama maybe wins it by a touchdown, but let's take Ole Miss in this one. They're undefeated at home. They've gone over in 4 straight. I mean, they look. I respect Alabama's defense and those numbers and everything, but what are they really doing? They're really just, okay, maybe some team will get in there with 2 losses if we get a few more, and maybe it'll be Alabama, but that doesn't. It would take a just crazy set, not crazy set. It would take several different events to get Alabama, I would think, back in the picture here. Alabama's just 2-2 on the road this year so far, and 3-7 against the number at Ole Miss. Let's take Ole Miss, Mindy. Plus,
Do it.
we could have had 13, but I mean 11.5.
13.
11.5 is practically just as good when you're talking about a big double-digit home dog like this. Let's take Ole Miss plus the points plus 11.5. All right. Now, if you could hear
Are they
that,
coming for you? Are they coming for you, Ramon?
I am on fire.
Uh,
That's a fact. Not just talking, not just tout talking here. You can check the numbers. All right. Iowa State and Oklahoma State here. Iowa State's the favorite by 1.5, and the total 48.5.
yeah, it's one of those like I don't even know what's going on here
Look,
anymore.
this is why I have you on the show. It's Iowa State and Oklahoma State. Or why I say on the show. So why we have this show right in your neck of the woods. You better come with it.
Yeah, I mean, so what? Oklahoma State now coming off their 2nd loss in a row. And it looks like they're going to be, starting their backup quarterback here again, perhaps. Iowa State bringing their defense, only allowing 17 points a game. Iowa State, with Deckers, he's 266 yards of passing here per game. I don't know. It's going to be pretty crazy here. I think, though, I'm going to have to go with Iowa State just because of those Oklahoma State woes. I don't know what it's going to take to get them to get back after it, to get back with scoring. I'm not exactly sure what's wrong.
It is a perplexing game because obviously Iowa State isn't really getting us the money either this year, right? I mean, they're 2-7 against the number. Oklahoma State's actually, because of their early season success. I mean, they are 6-3 against the spread. They are 5-0 at home, but I don't know. They failed. Oklahoma State's failed the last 2 games. They've both gone under. So it's just Iowa State seems like the side here to me, and I really can't put the numbers together that indicate it. But again, something looks amiss with Oklahoma State right now. I mean, they lost that game to Kansas. I mean, look, we know, okay, Kansas is, they're good. Kansas is decent. There's no doubt about it. They've strengthened, if anything, about some of the big 12 teams is the fact that Kansas is playing so well has kind of brought the whole conference up a little bit because of, the way they performed as well. So I want to take Iowa State with you, Mindy. I don't know if I necessarily like the total, and I can't play Oklahoma State right now. So I've got Iowa State as about 2.5 point favorite. I don't know if that maybe 3. Yeah. So I don't know. We have to play as a premium though, because we're both on the same side.
We're doing it.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Is the chat broken? Are you seeing chats? And I'm
not seeing anyone chatting.
My computer is broken today because of the technical problems I had. Okay. Well, everyone might be at work, working and listening or whatever. Because we know we got a couple dozen of you in here. Anyways, just a couple more, Mindy, and we'll get out of here. Wisconsin and Iowa. First touchdown wins, Mindy. I feel like in this game, I might not be kidding. I guess they'll make it a couple of touchdowns because it seems like I don't know. It seems like I've talked some trash about some of these Big Ten games and they'd be a low score and it's like 17-14 at halftime, which is still kind of not exactly barn burner, but this one looks weird, man. This might be like 14-7 or something, I think.
Well, 100%, right? I mean, I think so too. But again, it's like I don't know. Iowa's, I want to say they're playing better the last two games, but it could just have been that competition that they were playing as well. So we're kind of back to, the Wisconsins being more similar to the Michigans rather than the, Nevadas and the Northwesterns and things like that. I'm going to take a look at Wisconsin here. And I think I'm going to do it just, kind of solely based off of kind of just the numbers. They outgain Iowa by 125 total yards per game. If I take a look at, the offense, Wisconsin, they're 42% on third down efficiency, Iowa only 28%. I think, because of these little factors, because Iowa, I think they play pretty tough at home. I mean, it's a hard place for people to go into. But I think Wisconsin is just the better team, and they seem to be, I think, maybe having a little bit better go of it since their coaching change here as well. But I think this one is, like you said, it's going to be, maybe who scores first or who has the ball last. I think it's going to come down to, one of those early possessions or last minute possessions here.
Yeah. Well, they're both still 5-4. Wisconsin hasn't really proven to be the same Wisconsin as usual. In Iowa, maybe they've kind of salvaged something in a way. I mean, I know that both teams have covered two straight, so there's a little bit of momentum. And I think Iowa, I'm gonna go against you. I'm gonna take your Hawkeyes.
All
I
right.
think it's whiskey in this one. I think just because I'm getting the 1.5 points now, and it opened Iowa 1.5 at most some places. So, but I think I kind of tipped my hand there about what I'm going to do with the total. That's why I'm going to go on the opposite you here on the side because, I favor Iowa. I've got them as just a slight favorite, really not as strong as I think of this total. But for me, Iowa won. I'll just mention why Iowa 1-4 at home to the under last 5 games, and also Iowa 2-6 to the under last 8 games against teams above 500. So Wisconsin's been, pretty much an over team this year, but I don't know. I think Iowa will have that defense, and like I said, this might be a crazy score. Take some alternative total action. I don't know, but
Right.
probably be not getting the best of the number here. I mean, it opened 36.5. Now it's 34.5. I don't know.
Man, ugly.
Right. And Joe Casual better going to go in under 34. I don't know if he is. I am probably.
Right.
One more game, and it's going to be South Carolina and Florida in this one. One more in the SEC here, and Florida 7.5, total 59.
Yeah, I mean, South Carolina 6-3 coming off that 38-27 win over Vandy. Florida 5-4 now after beating up on Texas A&M 41-20 floor. But I mean, Florida outgains South Carolina here by about 60 yards here a game. They also have the 37th ranked rushing average, also at 209 yards a game. I think Florida's going to be able to, control the ball here with their running game. And I think they're going to be able to cover this 7.5 at home.
All right. Mindy says take Florida minus 7.5. All right. Well, Florida 6-3 to the over this season. They are 8-4 straight up. They've gone over in 3 straight. Gamecocks are 4-1-1 against the spread last 6 beatings. 5 straight in the series have gone over. I'm really, really, really torn on this one. I'm going to end up taking a pass, Mindy, for our last one here on the show. Florida 1-7 straight against the spread. Their last 8 off of straight up win, and they did defeat A&M in the last game. I've got a big play. Let me just say I've got a play on the total. It's going to be a premium play, so I'm not sure about the side. So respect what you're saying. You're getting the best number there at open 9, and now 7.5. So getting the best of the number there. So all right, I'll take.
Has a big play on total. Write it down, folks.
Yep, and I'll take my one pass there. I don't think I did any other passing. On the show. So head on over to our website, Tony'sPicks.com. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages. I want you to check out the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot, see why those fire engines are coming after me here. So I'm going to try to get to 4 dimes today. I might have to
Do it.
do better. I might have to do better than 200. I don't know what's falling off the back end, but remember, I've had, quite frankly, I think because we follow each other's picks, but I've had like 3 days this week that have been, like 8-1, 7-2,
No
9-1,
big.
or
Yeah,
something like that. And one of them might be coming off here. It's been 7 days, 3 days like that over 7 days, though. I mean,
that's pretty good.
subscribe to my picks or Mindy's picks as well. You can see over there on the leaderboard, Mindy also yesterday 2-1 record for yesterday, and Team Steam, we're gonna have to get on that leaderboard, even though we're 3-3-1.
We're ready.
Hats off to Mindy, 5-0 day there. We did mention Paul; he did go 1-0, and Collins also in the green. Use the promo code Tony T at checkout to save 20% off all premium packages. Mindy, am I forgetting anything about Tony'sPicks.com?
No, I think you've covered most of it. Again, everything is fully documented and transparent, and use the promo code Tony T at checkout as well. And again, that's a YouTube exclusive where you get the discount. So Tony's always putting a little bit of extra incentive for you guys that are watching to get the discounts on our best plays out there.
Okay. Yeah. Don't forget we got our $15 best bets. I think we can mention also our, 3 packs, 5 packs, maybe even 7 packs. We'll have our morning Steam picks will be on there as well. If you ever miss a show, you can subscribe. Make sure you use that promo code. We don't need you paying full price unless you want to. You can always throw us a bone. And so go to Tony'sPicks.com. Those are our premium picks, absolutely our best picks each and every day over at Tony's Picks. These are our free complimentary picks. These are one that Mindy said, falls just a notch below premium. We feel good enough to go on YouTube and recommend these as potential plays,
Right.
but our best plays are
Putting our
over.
reputations on the line.
That's right. That's right. I sweat these just as heavy as I do the premium plays, and we're going to be doing some sweating tonight, Mindy, for sure, with all these plays that we have. So good job, good show. Catch everybody tomorrow, where we'll be up with the NFL tomorrow. Right, we've got the big Atlanta Carolina matchup, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow, and we'll also have basketball, hockey, and all the early games from the NFL, including that game over in Germany with Seattle and Tampa Bay. So, we're getting back to big card again this week in the NFL. So, all right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for coming. Great show by Mindy. And for Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us. Catch you with more Morning Steam on Thursday.
And you can also catch us on the drive-through every day as well.